Are you not the babysitter?
Welcome to the Horrible Film School. Grab your seats, rip open those Velcro Trapper Keepers, and click those mechanical pencils. I am Christopher here with Flying Ryan Hootie.
What's going on, fellas? Excited to go into a devil cult. Let's get it.
Satanic Panic. And we got King Nasty himself, Joseph Joy Manboy Purty.
House of the devil! If only this movie were a little more like a Motley Crue music video, we'd be watching some succubus suck off Nikki Sixx instead of talking about an eclipse for an hour and a half. This Ty West guy needs to get his priorities straight.
Joey coming in with the heaters already,
I think I would rather see Tommy Lee personally, but you can have your Nikki Sixx.
Hey, we've already seen Tommy Lee.
Yeah, true.
I've already seen that dick. I've already had that dick once. I don't need it again.
I already had it once.
Throwing in big hair and cocaine in this film wouldn't have hurt anything, Chris. So.
Today's assignment, 2009's House of the Devil. The lesson, order the Hawaiian pizza. Ham, pineapple, salty, sweet, heaven.
We're going to get to that shitty pizza.
So I'm changing up a format a bit here. We're going to start with some fan reviews just to kind of give us a teaser for what's to come. We're going to start with a bad review. Actually, this person gave it a 1 out of 10, calling it a slow waste of time. House of the Devil is terrible. So terrible that I registered here solely to comment on House of the Devil. The film is so slow that I was able to leave the room multiple times. Restroom, popcorn, cat nuances, without missing anything in my absence. Building suspense is one thing, but unbearably slow, content-deficient scenes are another animal. An animal that should be euthanized.
I don't know if I've ever been mad at something so much to where I'm going to go to a website, register my information just to comment.
So I don't think I mentioned it, but the first one was from October 2009, so that was when it was actually released. And this one, the follow-up here, the good review, or the positive review, is from October 2009 as well. This person says, classic suspense horror for true fans of the genre, 10 out of 10. If you're looking for a run-of-the-mill slasher flick, a psychological thriller, or an action-packed gore fest, I'm sorry, but this is not for you. However, if you're into the type of horror movies that take a simple, almost predictable concept and turn it on its head in an unrelenting fashion, then look no further. This movie will stay with you for a few days for different reasons, but my biggest turn on was the feeling throughout the film, an homage to earlier times and an evil that knows no bounds.
How did it turn it on its head? It was like predictable the whole way.
I think this movie is like very much, depending on what era of horror you grew up in and you grew up with, is definitely going to like gauge your appreciation for the style that Ty West went with. So,
oh yeah, it's definitely.
I can definitely see the 1 star being, being what a lot of people would agree with, as well as the 10 star.
Looking at some behind-the-scenes stuff here, this movie was written, directed, and edited, which is an important note, by Ty West, who's known for a few horror movies, in particular The Innkeepers and X from just this year, 2022, which was fantastic. He's also done some TV work on the TV series Scream and The Exorcist as a director.
Have either one of you seen the Scream television series?
I have not. I've heard decent things, though.
I've gotten recommendations, but I haven't. It's on my list, but then again, my list is like 70 things long.
Is it on MTV?
Take a while to get there, Joy. Just go ahead and do like the first 69.
Yeah.
Up to 70.
It's MTV, right? I just don't trust them to produce a decent television show.
Yeah, as Chris has alluded to, Ty West has been in a handful of things. Kind of left out one of his big claims to fame. Everybody's favorite sequel, Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever.
Spring Fever,
he also did the second honeymoon segment of VHS, and he's actually working on a prequel to X titled Pearl, which is about one of the main antagonists of X.
If you guys have both seen it, if you stay after the credits, you actually get the teaser trailer for that movie. He shot them both back to back, so it's done.
It's funny you bring that up because I hadn't seen X before watching House of the Devil. It was on my radar, but I was saving it for a boring night when I felt like watching a movie instead of masturbating myself to sleep. However, upon watching House of the Devil, I ordered a barbecue chicken pizza and immediately started watching X. And I'm glad I did.
It's fucking great.
Very,
right?
very, very good movie.
Did you catch the trailer after the credits?
I didn't, but as soon as we finish with the podcast, I'm going to go watch it.
Yeah, it's
So
banging.
appreciate you. You actually stuck to the fucking credits in a horror movie, though?
Yeah, I watched it in a theater, too. So.
Did you not know? You had to know that shit was coming to sit there through the credits.
Oh, I had been keeping track of it because I'm a fan of the guy. And I knew that there was something after the credits. I didn't know it was going to be a trailer for a whole new movie, but...
I feel like now, though, you can almost kind of tell when there's going to be an after-credit scene.
Well, this one wasn't even like a mid-credits.
Not with this movie. Not at all.
This one was like way after the long credits. Because now, you get like the images on screen. You kind of know they're going to do like a mid-credit thing. But if it goes straight to like the crawling text, then you're like, probably not. But I did stick it around and catch that one. It was awesome.
X had a definitive ending.
Yeah, I would say so.
That shit's over.
But yeah, I know we mentioned, I mentioned The Innkeepers was his second film, kind of a follow-up to his second, and what I consider his actual directing work. We're just going to leave Cabin Fever 2 in the past. He actually came up with that concept while he was making this movie. They were staying in a hotel 30 minutes away that was supposedly haunted. So when he made The Innkeepers, he went back to the same hotel they stayed at to make this movie, to shoot it. So,
oh, well, that's very cool.
Pretty cool, I thought.
I have not seen Innkeepers, but
I remember enjoying it. I didn't like it as much as this one. I guess I'm gonna bury the lead here.
I thought The Sacrament was supposed to be his like good.
It's the only one I haven't seen.
He made.
I think it's his biggest production though, other than it's the most recent thing. But I haven't seen that one.
This is the Sacrament's kind of like his homage to Jim Jones, right?
Yeah, I saw the image. It's like a guy with big glasses, like chubby old
Jimmy
dude,
Jones.
like some kind of cult leader or something.
Don't drink the Flavor Aid.
But yeah, I'm glad you caught up with X, Joe. I think we can all three give that one a hearty recommendation.
Yeah, and shout out to Kid Cudi for a great performance.
Yeah, I didn't know, had no context as him as a musician, but he was fantastic.
Day and night. That's all I know.
I've heard that guy before. Another note here, this film was shot in Connecticut. Taking place in the 1980s, it was shot on 16mm film, giving it that retro stylistic look that matched the decade.
That distinctive 80s horror look.
That would explain all the white people in this movie.
Connecticut, man.
Shot in the whites.
I don't know if did they specify what state the story took place in. I don't recall, but
I know it was cold.
yeah, I'm guessing
So,
like a northeastern
anywhere where
state.
it's fucking cold.
That's usually where the white people hang out. Let's see what I got here. Oh, here's just kind of a random note. The titular house was infested with ladybugs, some of which can be seen in some of the shots.
I saw that same note. I did not pick up on that. Not that I was looking for ladybugs to begin with. But
I didn't either, but it kind of reminded me of my old home. Used to get a lot of ladybugs in the summertime.
You guys
What is
missed
it?
the ladybug crawling out from under the girl's like panties in that last scene?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, her bush was infested with ladybugs.
she brought them with her. That damn dirty lady.
there is something about Southern homes and being, well, this is apparently shot in Connecticut, but Southern homes being infested with ladybugs.
Ladybugs, stink bugs,
Bugs.
all this shit.
Just
It's
fucking bugs. We're
Just
dirty folk,
nasty
man.
ass bugs.
I had to uppercut this fucking wolf spider the other day that was in my stairwell. This thing was huge, bro. I couldn't step on it. He wouldn't let me. He would like hold my foot up. I had to uppercut that bitch.
I remember seeing one of those wolf spiders. I was living in my old house, and it was huge, and I stepped on it, and all the babies like shot out of it. Yeah.
Blah. I remember Daniel, my good buddy Daniel, when he was in the military, showed me a picture of one that they came across in the desert.
spider?
Yeah, the camel
camel
spider.
spiders,
Those
yeah.
were
Camel
fucking-
spiders, man, they're massive.
Yeah, that thing's like a small dog. It's fucking
They're
terrifying.
not poisonous, but they'll chew a fucking hole in you.
Ugh. I'm usually not afraid of spiders, but one good look at that motherfucker house.
Dude, that thing's more
said
like
that
I think
from
it's more like a
experience.
scorpion. And more like a scorpion.
Joey
than a
holds
spider.
up a hole in his fucking wrist. Oh,
That son
shit.
bitch will chew a damn hole in you, I tell you what.
Dump a mud hole in his ass. Last little note I got here is just kind of a funny wink to a film that Samantha watches on TV while she's babysitting. It is George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, a film that is in the public domain, so the filmmakers did not have to pay to use it.
I've seen that movie 20 times over, more times playing in movies.
Within movie, yeah.
That have this movie in it than I have the actual movie itself.
I had no doubt about that.
Can we get a tally of how many movies we've watched that has that public domain film inside of it?
It's over 10, guaranteed.
I've actually watched the Tom Savini remake of Night of the Living Dead more than I've seen the original.
I got one other note here. Nothing crazy. It's just kind of it goes with the whole homage setting of the film, or how the director went about releasing the film. The movie was promotionally released on VHS, the first to do so since 2005's A History of Violence, starring Viggo Mortensen, who was also starring in Crimes of the Future.
Oh, yeah. The Cronenberg shout-out we've been kicking around lately.
History of Violence has a pretty aggressive sex scene in it. On some steps.
That's the only sex scenes I like. Let's go.
Fucking Aragorn just slinging dick.
For Frodo.
That we can assume that the film is set in 1983, as one of the songs featured is One Thing Leads to Another by The Fix.
One thing leads to another.
But then you see it in a context like this, and you're like, I fucking kind of dig this song now, you know? Like, this
Oh, the song, every song in this movie is a fucking banger.
it's weird, because, like, if you would have played it on the radio, I would have fucking flipped the station. Like, this fucking sucks. This is lame. What is this cheesy shit?
Oh yeah, as a kid, I don't give a fuck. If it ain't Alan Jackson, I don't want to hear it. But nowadays, it's
way
like,
down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee, the watermelon crowd. But
Oh, the song.
Yeah,
It's another song.
Nah, man, it's all the same.
yeah, but every song in this movie
Thunder roll.
is fucking great.
All right, boys, let's walk up and knock on the door at the house of the devil.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, you scared the crap out of me.
Take it easy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I just thought you could use a light is all. So sue me for being helpful.
I almost just died. Oh my god. I almost just had a heart attack and died.
Here. You do it. Safely.
After her landlady gives her an extension on the deposit for her new department, college student Samantha Hughes makes the best of it and seeks out some quick cash to cover first month's rent.
Did you guys recognize Miss D. Wallace as the landlady?
I did, and it took me a deep dive on the internet to figure out why I noticed her.
Who was Dee Wallace?
She's an OG scream queen, dog.
Dude, she is a fucking scream queen. I mean, she's most notably known as
Throwing this term around.
the mom from E.T.
The mom from E.T.
Steven Spielberg.
That's a scream
Steven
queen now.
Spielberg.
Fucking E.T.
Hold on.
However, in terms of her being a scream queen, I'm about to list off a ton of shit.
Give it to
The
me.
Hills Have Eyes, The Howling, Cujo, Critters, Alligator 2, The Mutation,
Ooh,
Temptress,
classic.
The Frighteners, Jokel, Curse of the Weeping Woman, Rob Zombie's,
classic.
pretty much every Rob Zombie movie, Rob Zombie's Halloween, The Lords of Salem, Dolls, Three from Hell. The woman has made a career out of the horror film genre.
I feel like you just Val Venus money shot in my face.
She was the landlady in that first scene there. I knew I recognized her face. E.T. is where I was pulling her from.
Yeah, me too.
But I was also going to say she was referenced in Scream last episode as well. Where's the werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it? The Howling and Horror. Definitely has more clout than I knew of before I started to dig into who exactly she was.
Apparently, her scene or every scene involving her was shot in one day. She was on set for one day.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
out.
they had her like in the house and then in the yard, and that was it, right?
Gone.
Samantha is played by Jocelyn Donahue, who's been in a few modern horror movies herself. She was in Dr. Sleep and Insidious 2.
Definitely a relative unknown when she took on the role of Samantha. As Chris alluded to, Insidious 2, as well as Fast 7 or Furious 7.
Ooh.
Family. And she
Quarter
was
mile of
also
time,
in.
fellas.
Have you guys seen any of the Taco Bell like nacho fries like movie commercials?
Oh yeah, they're like over the top dramatic commercials.
Movie mockumentary. She was in one of those shorts as well.
Oh, good for her. I'm glad she's still doing work.
What was her character in Doctor Sleep? I'm just curious.
I do not have that note. I think
Okay,
she was
skip it.
part of.
Skip it.
Wow, Hootie, way to
Sorry.
go!
I know, yeah. Sorry, I mean, if I can.
Did Doctor Sleep make such an impact that we have to deep dive into fucking Doctor Sleep?
Well, I literally
like
recently
Dr.
watched it
Sleep.
like 2 weeks ago for the first time.
What'd you
so
think?
It was good. It was very long. They could have.
It was
every
good
goddamn
up
movie
until-
these days are too
it
fucking
was-
long.
It was good up until they got to the hotel.
She was
Yeah.
she was the little girl's mom. She was Abra's mom. So not a major
I don't
character.
think she wasn't prominent at all.
Yeah.
She's no Rebecca Ferguson, who was.
Phew. Is that the girl with the cowboy hat or the hat?
Yeah.
The slash hat?
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Gee, good Lord.
Chef's
have
kiss.
mercy.
Suck me dry, whatever it was
Look
they
me
did to all
in
the
the
kids.
eyes, lady.
Jesus. Yeah, she has some beautiful
Put that
eyes.
hat on me. Put that slash hat on me, girl, and play me like a guitar. You know what I mean?
I also wanted to say here I really dig the freeze frame credits that he uses. It's very old school horror movie.
Oh, yeah. Definitely 70s, 80s vibe.
Definitely
synth-
Blood Money vibes.
Definitely Blood Money. The synth opening, it's quintessential 80s, man. The dude has got a style. We'll put it that way.
I think one of the crazy notes about the guy, which I read an interview he did around this time, was he wasn't even 30 years old when he made this movie. It's fucking crazy. They had that many references to stuff that old, you know.
He's but a wee lad.
He was just a wee boy at this point.
This dude is out here making movies. I just got done beating a Crash Bandicoot level at work.
Another thing, going back to the interview I read that he did, he was kind of talking about Cabin Fever 2 before we get too far from it. So essentially, he was
Till we get too far from it.
essentially he was hired to direct the movie, and he was supposed to be like a comedy. So they shot 80% of it, and then they told him, "No, we need to make it like the first one." So apparently that's why that movie's so fucked up. He discredits it.
That's why.
He doesn't
Who
take
said
credit.
Cabin Fever 2 is fucked up? It's Spring Fever.
He doesn't take credit for directing that movie.
Yeah, he shouldn't, because that movie's good, and it ain't a fucking ripoff of some 80s bullshit.
Smith learns about a babysitting job via the local college pinup board. The whole rip a phone number off of a flyer thing that people used to do. The gig is offered by a creepy-ass old man, Mr. Ullman, who asks to meet her in person. He stands her up, but later apologizes and offers to double the original pay.
Can we go back and talk a little bit about the scene where Jocelyn, a.k.a. Samantha, tries to go to her dorm room?
Ooh, we're talking about
Ooh.
You
socks.
grab her
Sock in
things
the
for
drawer.
school, and there's a sock.
Somebody was
There's a
grabbing
sock on the
something in there.
doorknob. Pretty much.
Yeah, I think she had a
She goes
comment.
up-
She's like, it's first thing in the morning. Like, they're fucking at
Yeah,
like
she-
7 a.m.
This cock-blocking nerd says, it's morning.
It's
I
morning.
mean, so this morning wood ain't gonna suck itself, girl. You know what I'm talking about?
Afternoon delight ain't here yet, girl. It's morning wood.
I wonder what happened to that lady getting railed in the room that day. She probably dropped out.
We never saw her, like, conscious after that, did we? Must have been some good dick.
She did tell her that she wrote down the number to the man.
That's right,
But it
yeah.
was somewhere in
She
the
slept for like 7 days and 7 nights, dude. She's like Jesus rising from the fucking grave.
She had a
after
snorkel.
gets
She
fucked.
came up from the dick for a minute. I took
Damn,
a phone number for you.
Her lover was Harrison Ford, apparently. Jesus.
But I think this is one of those indirect, like, comments on sexuality, because Samantha is obviously, like, weirded out by all the sexuality around her.
Yeah, she's very much a Laurie Strode
Yeah.
in this movie. I was gonna say I don't put a sock on my doorknob. I put a pair of boxing gloves because they know I'm in there beating that pussy up.
Oh, I was going to say beating off, but, you know, I
Well,
guess
I need that sock. I need that sock. I need that sock to clean up the mess. You know what I mean?
It's a
So I just
multi-use
put a-
boxing
I just-
glove. Okay, Chris.
I just put a set of boxing gloves on the doorknob.
Jesus. She's wearing headgear. What the fuck is going on in there?
I have to call out the fact of what she was using while she was walking around campus was a Walkman that was released in 1979
The
by
Walkman.
Sony.
Sony, that's like the OG, like before the iPod. It was the Walkman, right?
A legendary piece of technology.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris, you remember back when I had my Walkman?
No. I remember CD
All right,
players.
I had my Walkman. I used to do laps around the neighborhood with the cinder block attached to a chain, with Hybrid Theory playing in the full blast in the background.
Fuck yes. You wish you were that
That
fucking
crawling
cool.
in my skin shit.
What is
Dude, I was a
Hybrid
fucking
Theory?
Animal.
That's Linkin Park's first album, son.
Oh,
You lace up and learn a lesson.
Discography.
Yeah, lace up, bro.
Lace up and learn a lesson. 2000 right there, dog. It was more than likely you listening to Freak on a Leash or something. So
Nah, I think it was like Metallica.
Let's don't
like
misrepresent
Reloaded,
here.
like their shit album.
all the one with the cum on the front of it.
Listen to Reload.
Isn't that the one that came on the album and then drew it?
No,
Or they
it's
made
the
it
one
like
that had. I think
flames?
it had a hand, and it had that song "Until It Sleeps."
Yeah,
grips you so.
I think about Load. I think Load and Reload both had the.
I think
Load
they're
would
both-
obviously have
one's
the-
considered shit. I think Load might be considered. Whichever one had "Until It Sleeps" on there was considered like.
That was
ass.
your favorite song for
Yeah, it was
2
my
years,
favorite one.
dude.
It's the same way. It's like "Issues" is my favorite Korn album, and everybody hates that because it's their emo phase.
Samantha accepts the job and gets a ride to the remote mansion from her best friend, Megan, who thinks this whole situation is kind of fucked up. Megan is played by a lady named Greta Gerwig. Do you two know who Greta Gerwig is?
Greta Gerwig is apparently hot shit.
She might be the most accomplished actor we've ever covered on this show, because she's been nominated for Oscars twice as a writer and director. She wrote and directed
Wow.
Lady Bird and Little Women.
Oh, Lady Bird is fantastic.
That's pretty much like her life as a teenager, apparently. But she made her bones acting in a few Noah Baumbach movies, who's been her partner since 2011, and now she's writer, director, Oscar-nominated person. So she's a big deal.
Yeah. She's a big deal. She was cast in this movie for her ability to make eating pizza look like a horror short in itself.
Weird, man. That whole
The way she
scene is
ate that
weird.
fucking pizza was disgusting, and I am disgusted by it. Stick to eating pizza in your privacy of your own home, you fucking gremlin.
The weird ticks you two pick up on. What the fuck was she doing?
She was just moving, like the way she said it was disgusting and the way she was holding the pizza.
She was sucking her fingers and shit, bro.
Which I read she was
Eating
told
pizza.
she was told
It
to
was
eat
greasy.
that pizza as if it was disgusting.
She ate it like it was the last meal on earth.
It was supposed to be foreshadowing for later.
Maybe
She
it
was
was,
sucking the
like
grease off her fingers.
maybe it was like a Little Caesars Hot and Ready, and we all know those are some shit pizza.
Damn,
so,
dog.
I mean,
Somebody told me they tried to go to a Little Caesars the other day, and they said there was one dude working there, and he said it was going to be 30 minutes.
The one down here is
30
fucking
minutes.
closed, bro.
It's
They
frozen,
got
dog.
a sign out there that says temporarily closed.
I get that it's frozen, but you can have some ready. It's called Hot and Ready. It's in your damn title of your business.
It's bad, man.
Nah, it's called closed till further notice.
Although I have heard good things about that Meat Lovers.
Oh, shit.
So.
I'm not a big fan of thick pizzas. I'm not a big fan of deep dish pan pizzas.
All the
At
thicker
all.
the better.
I like the thin ones, man.
I've been trying pan
Give me the
lately.
ones that's
I
like
pan.
crackers. You know, I like the cracker
Pan's
ones.
where it's at.
At the house, Mr. Ullman pulls her aside and reveals that he does not have any children. The babysitting job is to attend to his ailing mother. Samantha is naturally turned off, but finally agrees if he will pay her $400, a significant increase in her pay.
They went from $50 to $400 to babysit like a house and this old lady.
Inflation, dog.
Does the actor Tom Noonan have on like something on his feet? Because he's not that tall in real life. Like when he answers the door,
Tom Noonan's
He is-
huge, man.
he's not 7 fucking foot tall.
The motherfucker played Frankenstein in a movie, dude. He's massive.
He's at least like
Weird.
6'5" or 6'6", right?
We're doing a live search here because
Or were
I'm
they-
calling bullshit.
Was there like a step up into the door, though? Was he like above
Well, no,
them?
that door right there, they portrayed him like he was 8 feet tall.
Tom
but
Noonan is
he is-
6'5", to his
He's
credit.
tall. That's fucking tall.
And these women are probably 5'6".
I don't know. They portrayed the women like they was 3 foot tall. Like they was coming up to the doorknob, reaching up, like please.
They were like at
help
his
me."
belt buckle.
Well, while Hootie looks that up, we will say that Mr. Ullman is played by Tom Noonan, probably at the time of this movie the most famous actor of the bunch. He was in Manhunter, where he played the primary serial killer. Fuck, I just forget his name. Francis Dollarhide, who would be reportrayed in Red Dragon many years later. And he was also in Hell on Wheels, a little TV show on AMC that I dug for a couple seasons.
He was most well known for his role in Eight-Legged Freaks.
Oh God.
I knew this man for one of my childhood classics, The Last Action Hero.
Let's go.
Where was he in there? I don't recall that.
Get to the chopper. You got to go to the chopper.
I remember Schwarzenegger and the little kid, but that's all I remember. And the guy with like the glass eye.
Yeah.
Where the hell was Tom at?
He's a tall...
Just a henchman or something?
He plays like an actor. He plays like an actor playing a character. The character's name is Ripper.
There you go. Jordan knows more than I do.
But yeah. All right, you heard my Arnold Schwarzenegger. Here's my Tom Noonan doing that same line. You have to get to the helicopter. You have to do it now.
I could see Tarantino in Dusk Till Dawn ripping off his delivery when he's talking about what you said back there in the room. It's like a very soft, like weirdness to everything he says.
It's very sweet, very creepy, very unsettling.
Yeah. He's just a creepy.
There's a calmness to his voice that like puts you on edge.
To be 6'5", he's got a very smooth, low voice. That's not usual for tall people.
And as we see with how the scene wraps up, sometimes you just gotta throw money at it, dog.
So, if we're looking at this from a psychological standpoint, the dude's already told you there is no child. You drove all the way out to the middle of nowhere for the child.
Megan says, "Fuck that."
Dude's offering you $400, which I don't have an inflation calculator in front of me, but in the 80s, it's got to be a pretty significant amount of money.
Let's say that's close to 1,000 now. I don't know, but let's just say that.
I think I would leave, but
she's hard up for money, though, man.
I get it, but that is two major red flags. And Megan eating that nasty ass candy out of the candy bowl, that was very disturbing for me.
She had like the one nasty piece, but then she went back in for another one just in case, and then dropped some in her purse.
God, that was so nasty.
What the fuck do you think those were? They were red, definitely, right?
I was trying to figure out if they were red.
It's those strawberry things that all these.
No, they were much bigger than the strawberries. They were unwrapped, and
maybe
she
they were
ate one, and there was like 75% still left. It was huge.
Yeah, you haven't had the unwrapped Starburst? It's just fantastic.
Yeah, but some
old
man
wrap a Starburst and put it in a bowl.
Laying in his like house.
Have you ever seen Starburst unwrapped? It's like a kind of Starburst. It's a bag filled with them.
I can imagine what it is. It's just Starburst without all the work.
It's fucking great.
Is that what we're talking about here? I thought we were talking about some hard-ass old person.
I think he invented it with his methodology here.
This is how Chris lost his tooth, Joey. He was just chewing on damn Laffy Taffy over here.
You can get like a ball of like 20 Starbursts and just pop them in at once.
I'm sure you can. Lose all your damn teeth.
But I think this whole scene right here kind of alludes to something we'll see here in a bit of like the candy being stale and old. I'm not going to spoil it already, I think you can kind of see which way I'm leaning.
I think I'm following you here. Megan immediately leaves, citing Ullman's lies and general weirdo-ness, but she promises to pick up Samantha later. Samantha stays, blinded by all that sweet dough. On the way home, for some reason, Megan stops in her car to smoke a cigarette.
This was so stupid.
Happens to stop in a fucking cemetery.
In a cemetery.
Of all places.
When her car light will not work, a stranger suddenly appears, startling her, and offers her a light. When Megan reveals that she is not the babysitter hired by the Ullmans, she is abruptly shot and murdered by the stranger.
Okay, pause.
Fucking pause.
I want to see it, because I've seen this film before. I want to see what Joey thought of this moment.
Dude, this motherfucker right here is hanging out in a graveyard. I don't think we've talked about it other than me alluding to it earlier, on eclipse night. There's like a fucking blood moon eclipse going on tonight, and this dude's hanging out in a graveyard. You know she's about to get turned into a corpse as soon as she stops. But it's fucking savage. Just blew her brains out all over the fucking dash. You know this movie had me thinking it was going to be some slow burn, snooze fest bullshit. But this hobo just changed the game on us, my man.
Yeah. I like the lighter coming out of the dark. Even watching that again, it was like, the effect was really cool.
The jump
I like
scares,
the flame
I
just appears.
Jump scares. Super effective. This is an effective use of jump scares.
For the audience who may not have seen this film yet, this is about the 8th time we've discussed the eclipse in the film. So, it said a lot.
This is a huge deal. This eclipse is huge. It is all this town will fucking talk about the entire movie.
Yeah, we catch it on like background snippets of like the news and the radio, and then I think Megan even asks Samantha at one point, "Oh, what's going on about those eclipses? That's all I hear about."
She says, "I'm fucking tired of hearing about this eclipse."
So we know
You and me
Right
both,
there with you, girl.
this is a strange time in this little old town.
And for such a well-designed film, her stopping in the graveyard just made absolutely no sense. I thought she had car trouble, but her car was running fine.
After ordering a pizza that Mr. Ullman all but ordered his damn self, Samantha dances around the house while listening to her Walkman, accidentally breaking a vase in the process.
Apparently, this entire scene was like, I mean, she wasn't doing any elaborate dance or anything, but the choreography was all her. This is just her like walking around, shaking her ass, throwing her hands around like she's crazy. Before this happens, though, she is literally walking around the entire house, like violating these people's privacy and
She's
personal
nosy
belongings.
as fuck.
Like, is this what babysitters do? Like, do they just walk around and look through your shit? I mean, they trusted you, Samantha, and you did them like that. That's kind of dirty.
What if they got like the new Starlight Coca-Cola in the pantry? I mean, you know, I would try
Man,
it.
I done drunk all
The
that shit.
flaming hot Mountain Dews, man. You gotta
What
go
I
about
look
had
for
like
it.
6 cases of it, and it's gone.
I know as soon as I leave the house and Hootie's here to watch it, he goes, "Where's the little Debbie's at, though?"
Where's that? Where's that Star Crunch at? Where's it at?
I can smell the crinkly wrappers.
I can smell the oatmeal cookies. I can smell that sweet cream.
Ooh, whole double deckers, huh?
All right, maybe you walk into the spare bedroom and there's a PS5 right there. I haven't played the PS5
Hey,
yet.
shit, look at that.
See?
Yeah, but her dancing around had me anxious as fuck, man. It's just something about, because the way that the Ty West, like the sound design is done here, is she's dancing around. We're in the mood with her. We hear like the music coming through our ears, and then it cuts to us watching her dance, like voyeuristically. Like we can't hear the music, but she's still dancing. You kind of get like the vibe that someone else was watching her too. I thought that was super effective.
She does so many things in this sequence to make you like, to put you on edge. Like she
Anxious,
goes to
man. I
look
was
in these
fucking
dark
anxious.
rooms and like down in the basement. It's just
She's got
it's
some
like,
balls,
all right,
man.
when's it going to happen? Something's going to fucking happen.
I wouldn't do this.
Where
at
is
my own
Grandma?
age. What's Granny doing?
No, Mother. Where's Mother? That makes it even spookier, the fact they call her Mother.
While cleaning up her mess, she discovers a cupboard filled with family photographs and draws a conclusion that the Ullmans have possibly murdered the original homeowners and stolen their car. In a panic, she dials 911, but eventually manages to talk herself out of it.
I got a conspiracy theory that I want to go over with you guys.
Volvo.
A little bit Devolva. A little bit earlier in the movie, we're introduced to Miss... The fuck is her last name?
Ullman?
Miss Ullman, played by Mary Warrenov. Yeah, Mary Warrenov, from Silent Night, Bloody Night, and The Devil's Rejects and Warlock. She comes from the basement, according to what she tells Samantha, because she's looking for one of her coats, fur coats.
Right, yeah, she mentions that.
As Chris alludes to right here in the cupboard, is where the actual fur coats are themselves. So I'm of the mindset that right when this scene happened, Miss Ullman was down in the basement taking care of the other babysitter who had come up and decided not to take the job.
Oh,
I'm thinking there's another dead body down in the basement that we didn't see. Because we saw what the hobo did in the cemetery to someone that had just left it.
Because Mr. Ullman gives us the note when he's negotiating with Samantha that he had someone lined up earlier, but it didn't work out. They freaked out when they heard about the change of circumstance.
That's right. That's a very good take, actually.
Yeah, that adds another level to this movie for me. I appreciate that. The pizza is finally delivered by the same weird fucker that had killed Megan.
This pizza, by the way,
Yeah.
was only $8.
Oh yeah, he did tell her 8.
Time
no
has
fucking
changed.
tax.
Pretty good deal.
Let me tell you motherfuckers something. All right, Domino's got this program. You get 60 points, you get a free fucking pie, right?
Shit. Yeah.
You get a free pizza. All right. That thing I told you about getting the barbecue pizza and watching X last night actually happened. That wasn't me talking bullshit. Lucky for me, I had a free pizza. So I get my free pizza. I got it ordered and everything. Barbecue, sauce, chicken, bacon. And it's a free pizza. Somehow I ended up paying $15 for a free fucking pizza.
How did that
from
happen?
Domino's. And it didn't hit me until like today.
Delivery.
When I'm eating my
taxes.
leftovers. Like,
You
what
didn't
the
apply
fuck
the
is
coupon
happening?
right, man.
No, it was free. They charged me
How much was
$1 for my dipping sauces. I got 2 dipping sauces. Charged me $7 to have it fucking delivered.
All right, man. That's $9
And
now.
then you got a tip.
Was there boxing gloves on the door when after the pizza man came? Was there something happening?
No, I even put a note on there saying leave it at the bottom of my stairs. And he walked it up my stairs and looked at me like I was fucking stupid.
Was the pizza good?
I mean, it was okay. It was
I mean, it was
fucking Domino's.
fantastic.
It wasn't $15.
I mean, shit, you don't get it. Wasn't $15 good when it was supposed to be fucking free.
It was $15, but it was pretty fucking good.
Imagine if it wasn't free. That'd be like a $30 pizza.
Drugs in the pizza cause Samantha to pass out just as she discovers activity behind a door leading to the 3rd floor. So as soon as she sits down to watch TV with this fucking big-ass box of pizza, we get shot of the outside of the house. She's going around the house, as you can tell from the outside. And every light in the house is on. That's all I can fucking think about.
Backyard's light as a crack of
The
dawn.
front walk looks like runway lights. It's kind of like noon in the dead of night.
I don't know
Fucking
that.
90s kids, man. Country music.
Yeah, I would love
What a
it.
time.
It was a fucking time to be alive, man. Hootie and his Walkman, dog. Cowboy Troy and your Walkman. It was
Cowboy
fucking-
Troy and Trace Atkins.
You just
man.
go for a walk with a little bit of cowboy in your Walkman, you're fucking set.
That honky tonk donka donk, man. That was my shit.
She does something weird with this pizza too. I don't know if you guys do it. Hootie, you're weird.
Yeah.
Do you
Hootie
take a
fucking
knife
weird,
and
man.
recut your already pre-cut pizza?
Yeah, because sometimes it's not cut correctly.
So you
You
don't
don't
just
use your
pull it
hands?
apart. You don't use your hands.
I mean, if it's like
I
if-
fucking knew. I made a note right here
fucking
saying I
knew
know
he
your
was
ass
a
would do
weirdo.
something like that. So you
If it's
sit there
not
with a
cut
knife
well-
and cut it. I bet you get a fucking pizza cut and recut it.
I want symmetrical fucking squares in my pizza. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, so it was weird the way she cut it too, because usually you'll have like your left hand down as like a point of reference, and you cut with your right. She was standing like her arm was fully extended like this, and she's like, "Who
She's
cuts
We're
like
not going to
that?"
acknowledge.
She's never
that
used a
this
fucking
is
knife before in her life.
Like the grossest looking pizza of all time.
You think they reused the pizza from the earlier scene? It's the
I
same
think so.
pie.
It looks
I
so
don't-
disgusting.
first of all, I don't know how it turned out the way it did. It turned out looking good, considering she had the motherfucker upside down, holding it like it was a goddamn baby. I mean, the fact that it looked the way it did was great.
The real question is, where did this guy get the actual pizza from?
Oh, he killed the delivery driver.
Oh damn, I didn't catch
You know
that
what?
either.
You know what? I take that
When
back.
did he
I
kill
don't,
the-
I don't
what?
think he did. I don't think he did.
I mean, it was
The-
obviously set
Tom
up.
Noonan, Mr. Ullman, mentions 3 times to her to call in a pizza.
Call this pizza. That's why I said
Mentioned
he all but
3
ordered his damn
times. I
self.
think that phone number was a number to contact the this guy.
Yeah, but where was that fucking pizza at? Where was he cooking it at? Is my question.
I think he just went and got it.
By the way that pizza looked, they got that pizza at like 3 p.m. and she ordered it about 10 p.m. and then he gave it to her.
Well, it's funny because she throws the pizza away and actually doesn't really remark, but from there you can like see the face she makes. It's a gross pizza. Maybe it
Fucking
comes from the same
disgusting.
pizza place they went to earlier.
That one fucking pizza joint.
Because there's actually a
That's kinda
sign up there that says Eclipse Pizza, so I assume they're open up through. They're
God.
open through like
Clips.
actually.
Who do you
Eclipse.
fucking get it?
Eclipse,
Dummy.
I understand. I understand.
It doesn't sound like you guys really went into a deep dive on this movie. I went down the fucking rabbit hole.
Joey questioned everything he saw in this film.
We are underestimating the importance of the Eclipse Pizza. All right.
I will say once she turned the lights on, we could really get like a good feel for her hair. This chick had like the perfect 80s hair.
Oh yeah, it was
Like
coiffed.
all the
It was
hairstyles in
coiffed
the 80s,
just
this is
right.
the best kind. When she comes to, she finds that she has been bound and gagged in the center of a pentagram. As a lunar eclipse darkens the night sky, Mr. and Mrs. Ullman, along with a stranger, who is actually their son Victor, begin a bizarre ritual. Mother is revealed to be a grotesque, witch-like figure.
I think they call it like a priestess, like a satanic priestess. Is how it's described.
Yes, the lady's face was super creepy.
Very Erica Stoltz-like.
Yeah, damn it, now that you say that, I can see that. Shit. Mask. Fucking
Mask?
Rocky from Mask.
The female version of Erica
Like
Stoltz.
a lumpy skull. I don't know how the fuck you describe it without being a douchebag, but that's the
He's
best
got
I
shoe face.
Shoot face.
His face looks like the side of a boot.
If you drew a face on my foot, that's what it would look like right now. As part of the ritual, she slices her arm and pours the blood into a goat's skull. She then uses the blood to draw runes on Samantha's stomach and forehead and forces Samantha to drink her blood from the skull.
Drink deep the crimson blood.
I actually had a note I just forgot to say. Is I took it, so Joey went Eric Stoltz in The Mask. I went Ron Perlman in the Beauty and the Beast TV series. Looks like his fucking sister.
It's almost
Some
like
cruel
Erica
motherfuckers, man.
Stoltz. Erica Stoltz and Ron Perlman had a child.
That's about it. There you go.
Well, no, I'm thinking Ron
a baby
Perlman
girl.
as Ron Perlman, not even as goddamn Lion King or whatever he is. Had it just his face meshed with the fucking mask.
Samantha manages to escape halfway through the ritual, killing Mrs. Ullman and Victor, but horrific images begin appearing in her mind of Ron Perlman.
Do we want to make note of Megan's dead body here in the kitchen?
Yeah, that shit was pretty fucking
was
grotesque, man.
Somehow dragged into the kitchen. Samantha falls over the faceless corpse that's in the kitchen for some reason, and he immediately recognizes it as fucking Megan. This bitch don't have a face no more.
She's
How do you
missing
know
everything
that's
from the
Megan?
shoulders up, pretty much.
Did she
Only
have like a
one
necklace that
person
said Megan on it or some
Has
shit?
that blouse in this world.
Maybe she had like that red candy like spilled out of her pocket or some shit. I don't know. That's how good of an actor Greta Gerwig is. She was recognizable without a face, Joy. But yeah, I thought the sound design was really fucking good during this scene. Like the echoing and the heartbeat, the way all this, when the lights were first coming to while she's tied down to the pentagram. It's really fucking good. You could tell that
This was one of Ty West's first like feature length films, right?
Yeah, this is the first one he like got full control
Yeah,
of.
this dude is well seasoned. Like he's very, very good at what he does, and the sound design, the cinematography, all that shit in this movie is like top notch.
Yeah, and the fact he edited all this himself adds another layer of artistry to it. Mr. Ullman chases her out of the house and through a nearby cemetery. There, he tells her she was chosen. Samantha threatens him with the gun she used to kill Megan, but Ullman passively accepts his fate, claiming to simply be a messenger and gloating that she's too late. Instead of shooting him, she does the unthinkable and shoots herself in the head.
Bum bum bum. It's funny right here because Mr. Noonan, Mr. Ullman, he says it's almost time, and he looks up at the fucking eclipse. She points the goddamn gun up at the fucking moon. She's gonna shoot
Freeze,
it.
motherfucker. She said,
I will end
don't.
all this fucking
I will
shit.
end this. Her first thought was, if I shoot the moon, none of this will happen.
She's probably thinking, I'm so tired of hearing about this fucking eclipse. How did Mr. Ullman run with her into the cemetery? Because this motherfucker could barely walk.
He had a
And then
cane,
got
didn't he?
Yeah, he had a cane, and then he got stabbed.
He did get stabbed.
And he's just keeping
Got them
up with it.
long ass
in the
legs,
cemetery.
man. Him long ass 8 foot tall legs. He takes one step, it's like 6 hour steps.
Well, as a man with a partially torn Achilles, I can say, if you want to fucking get somewhere, you just suck it up and move. I did like, going back to some more of like the production design, is how her clothing goes from pre-ritual to how like blood-soaked it is after. It's like a very, you see like a lot of bad blood effects, but the way it soaks into her clothes, it's like a whole, like a transformation
Oh,
almost.
it's the right
She's
color
wearing
red.
completely different clothes or something.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's shot and edited or filtered very well, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It goes from like a white nightgown to like a red dress.
Right, yeah.
The way it looks.
Like there's hardly any white left at all, which I guess is symbolic of her or not her corruption, but her being innocent to all the shit she's been through now. So the scene cuts to a broadcast about that damn strange lunar eclipse the night before, which has confounded scientists due to its abrupt ending. As Samantha is revealed to be in a hospital bed in bandages, a nurse walks in and pats the unconscious Samantha on the stomach, reassuring her that you will be just fine. Both of you.
I got so mad at this scene
Boom, boom, boom.
that I cut the movie off, Chris.
What's the last fucking
so
scene?
it's
I
not gonna
understand.
it's not gonna hurt you
understand.
too much. Rosemary's Baby 2.0 over here.
I saw her brains fly out of the other side of her skull. She shot herself in the temple.
It's blood sugar sex magic, man.
You never heard stories about people getting shot in the head or hit in the head and they can like learn to play piano or some shit right after that?
Yeah. I think I heard
Talking
that
about Ronnie
Roseanne
Milsap
Barr,
like
like
that.
when she was a kid, got hit in the head and became like a comedian after that.
Got
Like,
hit
it
in the
changed
head.
her
Probably
personality.
didn't get shot in the fucking head.
Hey, you
through
Just
the
saying,
dome.
man.
Richie Ramirez got hit in the head with a fucking
Yeah, look what the fuck
swing,
happened to
and,
him.
and then he killed like 20 people.
He never brushed his teeth again, that's for sure.
Halitosis and the mostest.
But the brain's weird, man. It's just like one of those things where people can like stick rods and shit in their eye. And
Oh
not
yeah,
hit
yeah.
anything important.
There's different parts of the brain where you like get rid of them, and it's like you don't even notice a difference.
It's the most
We're good for
mysterious part of
Samantha for being
the
lucky.
human body.
Wait, do you guys have any like working theory of how she wound up in the hospital?
Like who took her there, like physically got her there. Guess I hadn't put much thought into it. I feel like old dude died or just bled out in the cemetery, so maybe cops drove by, EMS picked her up or something. What do you think?
Here's what I'm thinking. Or if you got a theory, go ahead.
I took it as she tried to call 911 again. At some point, she tried to call them twice. Well, the one time was a mistake call, but the second time she did call them. And I'm thinking they might have sent a cruiser out just because
Just
somebody
in
called
case.
911 from that location. Yeah.
All right, here's what I'm thinking. She blows her brains out, or blows part of her brains out, whatever. The bullet doesn't even hit her brain. Whatever happened. Mr. Noonan, Mr. Ullman, isn't quite dead yet. So he drives her to the hospital. And the way the nurse words it at the very end of the movie sounds like the hospital might be partly into this whole satanic cult. Because at the very beginning of the movie, there's this statistic that pops up saying 70% of people back in the 70s and 80s believed in satanic like activity.
The satanic
And that
panic.
30% of those believed that there was never anything heard about it on like the news and shit because the government covered it up. I think that goes back
So it's
to
all just a
this.
wider conspiracy, you're saying?
Where it's a wider conspiracy, because why are they talking about an eclipse the next day and not this 6, 7, 8 person murder spree that happened at this house when there's obviously somebody who was shot in the head and taken to a hospital?
Yeah, I guess I could see that because even with the nurse, like this person has a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, and you're telling her you'll be just fine. Like it's a very patronizing way to approach the situation, you know.
Yeah, I think that all ties back together. Nice, neat little bow on it.
I did dig like the long hold too there at the ending, which was super 80s as fuck. Like the still image of her while the credits was rolling.
Oh yeah, and the slow fade away.
Yeah, it's kind of like reflective of the beginning with the freeze frame credits.
What is it about every demonic cult movie and Satan worshiper movie? It always evolves to bringing about the birth of Satan, the Antichrist, or like a
baby.
demonic figure. Every one of them, they're all like this.
I want
Rosemary's
to see the
Baby,
sequel.
Devil's Advocate. It's like a trope
Give
unto
me
itself.
the sequel.
I guess it goes back to the whole thing about satanic panic was Satan, right? It's what's the opposite of Jesus? It's fucking the child of Satan, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most important story in Christianity. The biggest part of Satanism would be the birth of his child, right?
Oh yeah, it's super compelling. Like if you believe in God, you know, if that's your thing and that's your idea, there's the idea that people are out there actively trying to birth like the ultimate evil into the world.
Right now, you're talking.
That's
about?
no, I'm just saying like
Probably.
the whole
Yeah,
satanic
you're probably
panic.
right.
Good luck to him. Oh yeah, Satan really wasn't a big deal until like the
The
20th
Exorcist, man.
century.
The Exorcist
Yeah,
changed a
obviously The
whole lot of
Exorcist.
shit after that. After that book came out in the 70s, people were like, "This shit's real." But yeah, I mean that wraps up the movie. It's not a whole lot to it. Definitive slow burn.
Oh, there's a 30-minute time period there where there's less than like 5 lines of dialogue said. So
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of Samantha checking out the house. So Kind of gives us the ability to be a voyeur as she's being, but it's hard, like we said, to relate to going through somebody's shit like she does, because I don't think I would do that personally, but fuck me, right?
The more I think about it, though, like, being a babysitter has got to be fucking terrifying. Especially in, like, the 80s, like 70s and 80s.
Pre-cell
Because you
phone,
hear all these
pre-internet.
horror stories. Like, people didn't lock their doors and shit back then, you know? So anybody can just walk in there and, like, murder you and,
Yeah,
you know,
that was
steal the baby and shit.
that was BTK's whole gimmick. He would like scout the house, go inside the house, hide in the closet, and then while you were sleeping, stab your ass.
Just wait with like a telephone wire like wrapped around his hands, ready to choke your ass out like he's Luca Brasi. All right, boys, any memorabilia you want to take home from the House of the Devil?
I'll go first because mine is very easy for me, and that is that Sony Walkman.
Who do you always wants the technology?
I just love it. You know, Sony. It was incredible technology for its time, and it's a cool piece of history.
It's pretty obvious, the harpsichord that's fiddled with for like 2 seconds and never seen again. I mean, when the hell else would I have a chance to snag a harpsichord from a horror flick? If it's good enough for the Rolling Stones, it's good enough for me. Or the goat skull that Shovelface uses to knock up Samantha. I've been in need of a new coffee creamer dispenser.
What the fuck, man? So how do you take one and then shit on my pick here? I went with the goat skull.
Yeah, I was figuring that was you.
Goat skull is fucking cool. I can get a damn Walkman on eBay. I can get a harpsichord at the pawn shop.
Where
am
the
I
fuck
gonna
you get a harpsichord?
Where am I going to get a baby goat skull that I can literally use to pour milk in some
From a
cereal?
baby goat.
I'm not killing a baby goat. I'm not
They're
going to
killed
ask
every day,
someone
Chris.
to.
There's probably one getting killed right now.
Yeah,
You
you're
go
probably
to his
right.
head.
You're probably right. The movie behind us. Let's reveal some final grades here. I'll let Mr. Hootie kick us off.
The House of the Devil did not hold up the way I had it in my memory, but it was still a decent low-budget horror film. Original it is not, but you can see the early work of Ty West figuring out his style, which propels the movie into a pretty good film. I give House of the Devil a B-. And with that, Hail Satan.
Hell, Satan.
Hell, Satan. Yeah, that movie was apparently a super, like, commercial flop. Like, it cost, like, $900K to make and only made, like, $100K. Haven't seen the movie, so it's always a treat being introduced to a horror movie that's new to me, and this podcast has really helped push me to watch flicks I normally wouldn't. The House of the Devil is a love letter to the 70s and 80s horror that came before it. From its title card to the film grain to the murky colors, it wears its inspirations proudly. The cinematography is fantastic. The score masterfully sets the tone for what is an eerie and unsettling movie. This film does so much with so little. A small cast, sparse dialogue, set pieces that you can count on one hand. The paranoia-driven atmosphere kept me on the edge of my seat for the entire second act. Slow burn style horror is hit or miss, and in this instance, I think it allows House of the Devil to shine, but the climax is pretty generic for such a long and slow build-up. For some people, the payoff will not be worth the investment. With that said, House of the Devil receives a solid B from Professor Joe and fits nicely into our home economics curriculum. How many times during this process have I called this House of the Dead?
I don't think I've heard you say it once. At least not during the recording session. Isn't that shitty arcade zombie shooting thing?
Yeah, it's a game, but it's also a movie called House of the Dead by Uwe Boll.
Oh, that's
this
right.
motherfucker does video game movies and he's dog shit. So I watched 15 minutes of that if I realized I was watching the wrong movie.
I will say it felt good to get back to a quintessentially me pick. Slow burn is like an orgasm. The longer you can build the tension, the more satisfying you can blow that roof off. I dig it. The style does outpace the thrills, but sometimes I just do like looking at moving pictures. Mr. Ty West is one of the few horror-centric directors to come out in the last decade. Ari Aster, Jordan Peele, and Mike Flanagan come to mind. And just like those other cats, I intend to see whatever this guy puts out. X is great, and I was glad to revisit this simple, effective piece of retro horror that first introduced me to the man. It ain't for everybody, but it is for me. I will do a B+ on House of the Devil.
Oh, as a first time watcher, man, it's so weird because I'm sitting there and it's like halfway through and nothing's happening at all. Before I know it, there's like 25 minutes left. It's kind of weird how even in the slow moments it pulls you in. Like it grabs a hold of you, I think, with the atmosphere.
Yeah, I think you said his whole approach was for you to be, like I said, a voyeur, just like Samantha. Like you're literally discovering this house with her.
Oh yeah, that scene when she was taking a shit, I was definitely a voyeur.
Yeah, I'm sure you was.
Somebody had Mexican.
Somebody had nasty pizza.
Mexican pizza, you say?
Hey, it's coming back.
It looks better coming out than it did going in.
Actually, it looks the same. All right, let's recap some audience score guesses from Rotten Tomatoes for House of the Devil. We're all pretty tightly bunched up here. I was actually the low man at a 72, Hootie at a 73, and Joey at a 75. The actual score from the audience is a 63.
Jeez.
I was exactly 10 off. Do I win something?
Yeah, man, you get to Joey gets to sit on your face. That's your
Shit.
that's your
They
prize.
put the boxing gloves on the door, baby.
Damn,
Let's
dude,
go.
I got
Hot box
I got
of the
that
devil.
Damn barbecue pizza butt too.
Pizza butt.
I got that pizza butt.
Yeah, so that puts us back into the random cycle.
The wheel has been spun.
All right, boys, looks like we're watching 1985's Day of the Dead.
Are you happy, Hootie? I know you've been
So
wanting this for so
excited.
long.
I know you like that George Alfa Romero motherfucker, so...
Really pumped. Probably one of my favorite horror films of all time is Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead, obviously, is the sequel to it, but they do not connect. Super excited for this.
First came the night,
Fucking
then came
haircuts.
the dawn. Now
Dude,
comes
this guy's
the most
got beautiful
eagerly
eyes.
awaited day in horror film history. George A. Romero's Day of the Dead.
We've been punished by the Creator. We visited a curse.
We're being punished by the Creator.
For the few remaining, their only hope of survival is to find a cure.
You're wasting time trying to define what's happening.
But the odds are against them.
We're in the minority now. Something like 400,000 to 1 by my calculations.
And so is Captain Rhodes.
They still going to fucking movie theaters in that situation?
About the way
Look at that
things
guy.
are gonna run around here from now on.
Got clean that gun.
Their
dude.
one chance is Bub.
It's working on instinct.
Look at him,
Deep dark
shaving himself.
primordial instinct.
But their time is running out.
They can be fooled, don't
Fucking
you see?
glasses.
They can be tricked into
He
being
tried to
good
give him a
little
big
girls and
razor,
boys.
and a big razor cut his
Same
face.
way we were
He
tricked
said I ain't
into
having
it.
this shit.
Promise some reward to come.
But when the tricks wouldn't work,
Oh, shit. Okay, this motherfucker's reading a Stephen King book now.
He was reading Salem's
About
Lot.
Pet Cemetery. That guy.
What are these people watching?
That guy's loving it.
Shoot that woman, you were dead.
Wasn't very nice, you know. That wasn't very nice at all. You can just sit there in the dark, think about what you've done. Think about it. Think.
the dead shall have their day. Day of the Dead.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
Extraordinary, isn't it? So is that a fucking
That'll
comedy?
be.
Are you
That'll
two
be a
fucking ready for
nice,
this?
Oh, yeah, I'm so
I'm not
pumped.
sure what the fuck I just watched. All right, boys, you saw the trailer. Let's take a shot at the Rotten Tomatoes fan scores. I'm kind of torn here. I really don't know where to go, so I'm going to be as generic as possible and say 55%.
Ooh, you think it's going to be a shit fest, Chris.
I'm just playing the cards, man.
Let's go with a little bit more optimism than what Chris had, but still, like, kind of, because that movie we just saw, House of the Devil, got like a 62 or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of shit.
Tragic.
Let's go 65.
Wow.
We're spread out,
Wow.
boys.
Okay, we're about to be real spread out.
Go ahead and
'cause
spread
I
them
went
cheeks, Hootie.
If you say 80, you're out of
Super-
your fucking mind. 'Cause that shit did
Super
not-
high. This
that
film
looked-
has a
that looked like
huge
ass.
following. George Romero is the king of zombies. He's the creator.
The king.
And
It's like being the king of the trash pile.
I'm going to say that this is 86.
Wow.
All right, boys, we got our next assignment ready. So thank you for listening, good people. Check out the website, horriblefilmschool.com, to find us on all platforms, as well as all the links to all that social jazz. Drop us a line, leave a review. Don't send nudes. Or do. I'm going to use this sign-off to offer my support to women struggling to make first month's rent. Choose how you use your moneymaker wisely. Be careful on that Craigslist. The internet can be a fickle biscuit sometimes.
As always, if you're listening to our voices, at least tell one other person that you know about it. Spread the love, spread the campaign. Super excited for these two bulls to watch Dawn of the Dead. Maybe they might, Chris might turn into a zombie lover.
I thought it was Day of the Dead, Hootie.
Dawn, Day, Night, Diary, Land. Watch all of them, Chris. Get back to me. I'm out.
Thanks for all the listens, follows, retweets, likes, all that good stuff. Your time, your attention. This episode was a welcome change of pace from our last few films, and I really enjoyed it. Be sure to join us next time as the Horrible Film School dudes scratch, claw, and gnaw on 1985's Day of the Dead. Class dismissed.